So as far as getting ready to go do a job on a job site, when I'm, for instance, bidding a project, one of the very first things I always ask people is what the site is like. One of the questions I ask, is there overhead wires, is there trees, what's the driveway like getting in, am I going to be able to get in there with the truck, am I going to be able to get in with a boom truck? All those things you have to really kind of figure out ahead of time in order to make it work correctly. The other thing is the panels. When you order the panels, if you ask the company to put them in somewhat of a sequence of an order, they'll do that for you. And by doing that, that keeps your cost down on the job site down, because you're not having to sort these things out. Because they are all labeled, and they're labeled 1 through however many walls you got or many roof panels you got. And so because they are labeled and they are in order, you want to keep them in order.
The panels are numbered in the shop to coincide with the shop drawings which we create, which are basically the most important part of this whole process is the shop drawing phase and making sure that what we're manufacturing in the factory is what is truly going to be needed out on the site. So you'll see W, which stands for wall, we keep it very simple, W12-08. So this is wall 12 out of all the different walls. I think this particular job has about 15 different wall lengths on it. And 08, and then of course 09, 010, and however many pieces are in that particular wall assembly. So the wall panels are pre-numbered. This is an isometric 3D view of what they're doing. And so again, this is wall 8, and you've got panel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on this particular wall assembly. You should always double check your measurements. You should always review what you're doing before you go and just try to install it. And the reason for that is because it takes you twice as long to take it apart than it does to put it together. So as you're installing, just keep checking. Now they're also nailing these headers on. The standard nailing pattern is 6 inches on center. So you'll see he's nailing every 6 inches on center.
So one of the key things about having a successful job is figuring out where you can establish the crane and or where your workstation is going to be, so that you don't have to move multiple times. Obviously, if it's on a great big job like a school or something, you're moving all the time. But on a house, you want to set up where you only have to move once, because time is money. And one of the things that we discovered is that we really need to have a surface to work off of. We started out by using just like a Trojan sawhorse and building a little area off that, and that turned into steel tables and kind of evolved over time. The steel table things are key to us being able to do it quite as fast as we do, because we basically are doing like an assembly line type of product where we're putting together a set of walls or roof assembly together as big as we can for whatever we can possibly lift with the crane. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about is the sealant that goes around all the panels, all the joints. It's crucial that that's done correctly, because basically what you're doing is you're creating a gasket, and you're trying to keep any air or air movement or any ability or vapor or anything to not be able to go through that panel. And so one of the things that is cool about a SIP house is if you do that right, you're going to have one of the most energy efficient houses you're going to have. So in conclusion of SIPs versus sticks versus whatever building method you have, personally, that's the only way I'll ever build, because it's so efficient, such a tight building, and in the end, I can't think of any client that's ever lived in one of our houses that doesn't love it. So, I mean, they're just the thing of the future, really, I think.